Let's get started on the 60-degree Y pipe development for unit standard 25705 task 2. You're going to need drawing instruments. You're certainly going to need a 30-60 degree set square and a drawing board. Now, to fit this drawing on the page, I've got an A3 sheet here. I've had to reduce the size of the dimensions of the real item. So I'm making mine to a scale of 1 to 2, which means my pipe diameter, which is 80 millimeters, will now reduce down to 40 millimeters diameter, and this length here, 250, will reduce to 125. Now I've just got to make sure it'll fit on my page, and here's one I drew previously, so I've got to make sure I've got the item up the top and towards the left. We have to draw this view in. We have to determine the center lines and all the angles, so we have to draw this view in first. Let's put a center line, the center line of that pipe and the center line of the pipe we're going to develop. Alright, so what we do now is, because these are center lines, I've set my compass at 20 millimeters radius in my case, because my pipe is a total of 40, and I'm just going to draw that in, and this will show the outside of my pipe. I'm just going to double check that that is actually bang on 40, which it is. I can now lightly bring the outsides of my pipe down. I can do that for all three of these pipes. That should meet right on the center line. So these 2 points here are very important. They're our intersection points. So we have this intersection point coming down here. Now, let's determine the length of this pipe. So it's 125. It's only just going to fit in on my sheet. And drawing this one doesn't matter, and drawing this one doesn't matter, but these circles are quite vital for what we're doing. So we can simply join this angle to this point here, and that will give us this 15 degrees we're looking for through here. Or, as we've learnt previously, we can bisect the angle. So set your compass at anything you like. Definitely a wee bit bigger is better than a wee bit smaller, and simply now we can widen those out, draw an arc there. Okay, so what we're simply doing is bisecting this angle. And if we take that point and this point, it should end up on that point. And that's just another way of determining that we have the correct angle. Okay, so the pipe we're looking at is this one here, and I'll draw that in. Now we have to divide the pipes into 12 equal parts. So we divide each half into 6, and that is simply done with our compass, or can be done with our 36 degree set square. I prefer the set square method in this case. Right, now we've got to transfer those lines down to where these pipes meet. I'll do that in a different colour. So we transfer these lines down. And we have to do the same at the bottom. The good thing about doing the bottom one is that we only have to do a quarter of the circle. And we have to transfer these lines up. And they should meet in the same place. So what we've done is just double check and confirm that those points are in the right place. Now I can start developing my pattern. We have to work off the mean diameter, so my material is 2 millimeters thick. And my diameter, my outside diameter, OD equals 80 millimeters, and scaled down it equals 40. 1 to 2 equals 40. And that's about all I need to know, except we now have to work out the mean diameter. And that is done by simply taking one material thickness off. So let's work it out to the full size, and then I will scale it from the full size. So 2 millimeters from 80 obviously equals 78. So now I do pi times 78 to get the total length of my pattern. So 3.14 times 78 equals 244.2, and if I divide that by 2, which is my scale 1 to 2, so I halve it, is 122.1. So that is the full size of our pattern, and this is the scaled size for my drawing. To do our pattern, we come perpendicular to the center line and draw a line down there. Because this is cut square to the center line, there'll obviously be one line. Now these are the ones that really count. We have this join here, so we can bring that line all the way down. This one, I'll do these in a different color. So we can bring these down all the way down where they meet here. Where it meets here. Now this can cause some confusion, but we have to be aware that the lines start going back inside now. So to avoid that confusion, let's number them. We're going to start off with 0 at the smallest side, because that's where us welders will weld it back together. So we'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, and back 4, 5, and 6 at this longest point. So let's label these. We've got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you'll see how they come back into the middle. So let's draw a line to start our pattern. Now this can be anywhere, but we just have to make sure that, in my case, I've got 122 millimeters. So I can start here, measure down 122 millimeters, 122.1, about there. And that there is the total length of my pattern. Now that we've determined the total length of our pattern, we must divide it into 12 equal parts. And if you've seen the previous videos, you'll understand what we're doing here. So we just throw a line in at any random angle here, and we're going to divide that line into 12 equal parts. And the best way of doing that is with a compass. If my length is 122, divide that by 12, and I end up with roughly about 10. So I'm going to set, it doesn't matter what I set my compass at, but somewhere near is handy. So I'm going to set my compass at about, I don't know, 11. There we go, we're about a little over about 10 and a half or something. So with my compass set at a little over 10, I'm going to step these off, and we must be super accurate that we get our point exactly on that line. Okay, so these 12 divisions have to be spot on accurate. And this beats having to try and step it off and keep adjusting your compass and then making sure you're getting the same point exactly 12 times as if you try and just step it off along here. This is much easier and much more accurate. Okay, so we have our end point here and the end of our pattern here, and we're just going to join those up using 2 set squares. So I can position this, and as long as I line up the 2 end points where those arrows are and hold my base set square or ruler, whatever you want to use, hold this bottom one down firmly, and I can just simply move this along and transfer that to there, and this will give me 12 equal divisions. And if you practice this, you'll get very, very fast at it, and it's a very, very handy skill to take to the workshop for dividing anything. So you can have any number. In this case it's 12. You can have 7, 20, it doesn't matter. I'm making absolutely sure that I'm holding this base set square firmly still, and there I have my 12 divisions. Now I simply take those down parallel with these sides here, so they're on an angle, so I can just transfer those lines down. Missed one. Right, now the important part is where all these lines meet up. So let's number these lines coming down. So we'll have our seam, which is 0, and we'll work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll go back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, back to the seam again. So all we do from here is play join the dots. So we have 0, a long one and up 1, 1, long one and up 1, 2. Now we have to find 3, and 3 is right out here, so we have to go 3 and 4, 5, here's 6. Go down this line, we should be on 6, we are. Come back to 5, 4, 3, all the way down here, 2, 1, 0. So let's draw that in. Using my French curves, I can draw that line in, and that will be very similar to this one. This is a gentle curve in here. Making sure at least 3 of these marks line up. And I can finish off by drawing in the rest of my pattern. There we have the pattern complete. I'm off now to photocopy that. So there we have our pattern development completed. I've photocopied it and cut one out. I'm now going to roll it up. The old trick of a sharp edge, and pull it vertically up, or put an automatic curve in it. Sharp edge, pull it straight up, obviously without ripping it in half, and we'll sellotape that together. And there we have our pattern developed, cut out and rolled up. Now don't forget to add your name to your drawing and any calculations that you need to do to satisfy the requirements of the assessment. You may need to make 2 of these, but you need this to show the assessor.